Teardrop Campers Fire Build.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Teardrop Campers Buy or Build. This is episode 2. In this episode, we'll review our build log. Ordering parts, whether it's online or locally, using Excel to keep an itemized list of everything that we purchase, and ultimately what everybody wants to know, how much is it going to cost to build a teardrop camper? So the answer to that magic question, what does it cost to build a teardrop camper? Well, that depends on a few things. Most importantly, that depends on you and what you want to put into your teardrop camper. And that's what I love about these teardrop campers is you can customize them in any way you want. So there really is no magic number to what does it cost to build a teardrop camper. So I'm going to go over what it cost me to build a teardrop camper. Before we move on, if you guys end up liking the content of the video and the series here on building teardrop campers, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Please leave me a comment. Let me know how I'm doing or ask me any questions. I'll try my best to help you out along your journey as well. First, what I suggest you do is that you price out all the items for your teardrop camper before you do any building. I know that sounds pretty crazy, guys, but make sure that you use something like Excel is what I used to keep an itemized list of everything that I was going to need for my camper. I did research on the internet, used the book by Mr. Tony Latham on how to build a teardrop camper, did all my research, made phone calls, emails, contacted companies. I priced out everything that I needed so I'd know about how much I was going to have to spend before I even ordered any parts at all. I suggest you do the same thing as well. The companies I used for my teardrop camper build were Dexter, Vintage Technologies, Trailer Parts Superstore, E-Trailer, McMaster Car, Tampa Steel and Supply, Amazon, Home Depot, and Ace Hardware. So using Microsoft Excel really helped me price everything out and put things into categories and help me make adjustments to what I wanted to put into my teardrop camper. If you don't know how to use Excel, not a big deal. Use Microsoft Word. If you don't know how to use any computer applications, use a notebook and a pen and pencil and a piece of paper. But definitely categorize things out, figure out what you need and maybe what you can add on as you go. Again, another benefit to these teardrop campers is you don't have to have everything right now. So after doing all my research and pricing out all the parts that I'm going to need for the teardrop camper that I want, I estimated that it would cost me about $7,000 to build the teardrop camper that I wanted. Whereas if I was going to purchase that from a manufacturer or from somebody who built a home teardrop the way I wanted it, I was going to spend about $10,000 to $12,000. So $7,000 to build as opposed to $10,000 to $12,000 to buy. That's why I'm building. I ordered my steel here locally from Tampa Steel and Supply, and they were very great. I was able to call them and ask questions and make my order over the phone. A few days later, I think within a week, I was able to go pick it up. I did not have the best luck with local companies to purchase my Dexter axle. Again, you can't purchase the Dexter axle directly from Dexter. You need to purchase it through a third party. I tried the local stores around the Tampa area. I either did not like the price, I was not happy with the customer service, or the communication, or sometimes the lack of communication. So I did purchase my Dexter number 9 torsion axle out of Eastern Marine, Trailer Parts Superstore. You can find them at easternmarine.com. So the first category on my Excel list is my trailer. Now I priced out my trailer the way I wanted it, a 5x10 trailer, and it came out to about $2,400. Now I know that sounds like a lot, but to me that's the most important part of the teardrop camper is the trailer. It's like the foundation to a house. You have to have a really good foundation to have a good solid house. Now the majority of that cost, that $2,400 for the trailer, I did go with a Dexter number 9 torsion axle. Again, at the time I purchased that, it cost me about $900, around $1,000. with shipping, and I know that's a lot higher post 2020 for those people that purchased it pre 2020. I know your ears probably perked up when you heard that price. I think pre 2020 people were getting it for about $600. But again, times have changed, the world is changing, the marketplace is changing. Also, steel was up because the war in Ukraine and other things going on around the world. So it cost me about $600 for my steel. I use my Amazon Prime account to order a lot of items. Again, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can get things within the same day, a couple of days, and also the shipping is free, so you save a lot of money that way. I got things like wiring, primer, paint, my LED lights, my end caps for the end of my steel tubing. I used eTrailer.com for my tongue jack and my coupler and my chains, my quick links, my hitch pins. eTrailer has a lot of things that you can purchase. And again, if you order over $100, shipping is free. The next category on my Excel sheet is electrical. Now, this does not include the electrical wiring for the trailer. This mostly includes the electrical that's going to go in the sleeping cabin and the kitchen galley. So I decided to add some USB outlets, mostly USB outlets. I ordered a vent fan from Teardrop Trailer Parts, also known as Vintage Technologies. I believe if you order over $100, shipping is also free there. Other items in the electrical category include batteries and battery sources, lights that you would need in your cabin, cables, and a few other items. I estimated my electrical to come in around $440. Episode 3 of this series is actually about the building of the trailer. So again, if you like the content of this video, please hit the like button, please leave a comment, please hit the subscribe button. To me, one of the best and most exciting features about the Teardrop campers is the kitchen galley and the hatch. So I did have those as separate categories on my Excel sheet as well. For the hatch, I did purchase a third brake light from Amazon that'll be mounted up top high. Again, that was suggested in the book by Mr. Tony Latham. That ran me about $15. I purchased my hurricane hinge from Teardrop Trailer Parts, Vintage Technologies. That cost me around $100. I did order my gas springs from McMaster Car. I did have to wait for a while on those. Those weren't too bad in price. Those cost about $42, $45, but I did have to wait a while on those. Supply chain was kind of bad, but I did get them and I'm happy with them so far. And I think the hatch, those items are gonna run me around $120, $150. Initially, I had categories for all the flooring and the cabin details, the wood, the epoxy, the paint, the insulation. However, I got lucky and I have a friend that I went to high school with and he does a lot of work for Disney over in Orlando, and he was excited about this project and he decided to kind of help me out a little bit. I am not building out of traditional wood. I'm building out of a product called Thermalite. Thermalite is kind of a newer wood replacement. It acts like wood. You can cut it like wood and sand it and paint it like wood, but it's a lot lighter, it's stronger, it's more durable, it's resistant to mold and mildew, it's non-permeable, and I was able to get that product for a lot less than it would cost me for traditional wood because wood was high as well. My friend also is going to be able to do the aluminum siding for me on the outside as well, so I was able to save a lot of money by having a good network and knowing someone in the business that can help me out. So guys, I really suggest you use your network as well and possibly think about other materials to build out of other than traditional wood. Lastly, I am going to need some things in the kitchen galley area like the shelving and the drawers, and I haven't decided what kind of handles I want to go with yet. But again, having a good network, I have a former college roommate who lives very close to me, about an hour away. We're still really close, and he is a professional cabinet maker. So I worked out a deal with him. That's another way I was able to save a lot of money, is by having a good network. There are a lot of interior components I'm going to need to add along the way. I'm gonna need a mattress for the inside and pillows. I'm gonna have some USB outlets and maybe some little mini fans, things like that. I didn't really worry too much about pricing that stuff out here at the beginning because I know that those are things I can add along the way as I go. Again, that's a beautiful thing about these teardrop campers is you can add things as you go and you can keep customizing as long as you own the teardrop camper. Again, I live in Florida where I'll be doing a lot of hunting and fishing and paddle boarding. I do have a Toyota Tacoma. That is the vehicle I pull my trailer with, but I am gonna add some roof racks to the top of my teardrop camper, mostly for my 11-foot paddleboard that I use as a fishing kayak. And maybe I can put some fishing poles and other things up on my roof racks as well. I am gonna go with a solar system. I'm gonna get my flexible glass panel, my Rhinology flexible glass panel. I'm gonna get that off of Amazon. And I can get the controllers and the batteries and everything else as well. I believe I can do the solar system for $300 or less. So with all that said, what most people wanna know is, how much is it gonna cost me to build a teardrop camper trailer? So the grand total after all my itemized parts and needs comes out to $5,381.54. Now guys, again, that's just me pre-pricing everything out. Construction has not begun yet, but again, now I know that fits well within my budget. If you watch the first video, the campers I was looking at to fit my needs were gonna cost me about $10,000 or $12,000. And I estimated it was gonna cost me about $7,000 to build. So I'm glad I used Excel and priced everything out and did my research. I know now that I definitely want to build and I can handle that in my budget. Of course, this number is probably gonna change a little bit along the way, but at least now I have a good starting point. And more importantly, I feel even more confident now about moving forward and building this teardrop camper.
Teardrop campers, buy or build.